Okay, welcome to the Bones of Eden guide. You're probably stuck at some part and you need some guidance, so I'm gonna assist you on that. Yeah, everything seems fine. So the first thing is we don't want to go here because we're gonna get shot by two of those auto turrets. So we need to pull back. A terminal should inform you that that's not the way. I'm not gonna spoil the terminals. And you notice that there's a gap. There's this one, jammer. But you can also you can cheese it, yes, but to properly do this, we need two jammers, which is one hidden right over here. There's a terminal over here. But first we need to bring the jammer closer to this plasma door, like so. And grab another one. And this way, we're gonna disable both of those auto turrets and grab that key. Actually, hold on, like this, yeah. And there we go. We got the key. What I recommend doing is jamming this one, because if you try to cross here, you're gonna get shot, and we don't want that. And there's a autosave right here. Even in the impossible debris, there's a gap. As you see here, here's a hint that the laser is supposed to go here. So the first thing is we first must make sure that we have all of the connectors, and we're gonna make use of the symbol, an icon showing where it's gonna work basically. So I'm just gonna put it here, and where's the other one? There we go. There it is. Over here. Connect this. Sorry. And you see here, two of them light up, and boom. Here's our sigil. And also you notice that there's another sigil over there, but there's no way of getting to it. So we go back again. And as I said, that's why we need to block that. And we're gonna need to go through here. So we're just gonna make sure we're gonna sneakily go past this, and there's the gate. That's the key you need. Okay. Got a free sigil here, and of course connectors right here. So actually you may want to ensure that this one is also possible to connect, so leave it like this, okay, like close to the statue, because over here we have another connector, like so, connected like that, and there's our sigil. And just in case, we can just block this. Actually, yeah, we do need to go back, so you can go upstairs, but it's gonna be blocked, so it's just gonna confuse you. We can just indulge into this calm environment and progress towards our goal. So this one, here's a receiver, and an odd change of the structure over here. Like this window, we're gonna make use of that. First we just need to align them, like so, and make sure all three of them light up. So it kinda looks like this. All pointing from this smaller window, because as you see here, this one's taller, this one's smaller, and this one's the same height as the other one. So here's our sigil and the jammer hidden in this bush, so we can just progress like that. And we can now either go here, it's up to you, or here. I like this area more. There's gonna be a terminal, but as you see here, there's a, of course, locked gate and some poles. There's a sigil, and this puzzle is all about just literally finding all the connectors. What I like to do first is to put one here, because there's gonna be more over there. So first make sure you got all the connectors that are easiest to grasp and get it to your desired connectors. I mean receivers. I'm gonna choose that and that. Make sure it's like so. Doesn't matter that the second one doesn't light up because it's closed. But here we need a blue one, which is hidden over this side. So I'm just gonna put this one here. And there's a little bit of tense foliage going on. That's that. Connected to this one. And as you see here, the doors are open, but we're not done yet because there's another connector right over here. Literally in this corner. That's why it's called hide and seek. So we need this and this to be right that. There we go. So make sure you see that there's this one over here as well. Now here we see a sigil and can't quite see. Okay, keys, jammer, but don't forget to pick up your sigil. Don't rush yet, we're not done yet. But what you need to do now is pick up this jammer, but don't use it anywhere at the moment because we need to get to the key that was locked in the pool area. There you have it. There's a sigil. No. Now on to use this jammer. No, it's not there. No point in doing that. It's gonna be so close onto the next puzzle, which is basically not really much of a puzzle, but besides just a blockage. Just jam this and leave it there. Keep going forward and you'll see a sigil with an angel statue like that. And I believe we've got all the sigils we need to progress onto the second level. So take these steps and then on. Onto the puzzle. There's a terminal, but we don't want that at the moment. So it's gonna be like this. I think like that, like so. I do know this one goes here. Even though I designed this, I keep forgetting such tiny details. Okay, so give me a sec a bit. Even though I'm the creator of this, I always struggle with these. Even in the original game, I was stuck for an hour on the beginner level. Like, yeah. That's how it's supposed to look like. Hope you catched all that. It's really fast. I can't show you again because I can't interact with it again. But you can pause the video and see for yourself. And then there's a portal onto the next level. Now, I'm gonna say this, be careful of not looking down too much and jumping down because you'll die. This one was a bit fun to design as all of these grass was manually placed and weren't painted, so this map's a bit buggy because I used this engine the wrong way to design this map, but it works fine. this one's a bit more interesting. Damn, the sun's a bit too intense, but what can I do about it? So, the first thing you want to do is create a copy of yourself. This is going to be a little bit of a co-op. Put a pause point here. And just check that. Wait for our copy to just go here, yes. Take the fan. Resume playback. Put it here, go back, do it again. This time we're gonna go over here, and as you see here on the right, there's a pressure plate. We're gonna leave a pause here, go here, and simply check that. And now we can just resume the playback because we don't need it anymore. And here's our first sigil. We can just jump down and progress on to the next sigil. This one's quite easy to solve, but in case you're stuck, let me guide you. So first things first, we can just grab the sigil, it's easy as that. But the problem is there's quite a few of the receivers. So here's how you do it. You first go to the red one here, and the red one should go like this. Yep. But we're not done yet because it also asks us for the blue ones, and we must check. So it's all about seeing those icons all lit up. If you go like this, you see on the left that it's no longer lit up, and if you go here, it's lit up. So yeah, that's how it's done. Now we can carry on. So the first thing you will see that there's another blockage. There's no sight of anything to get rid of it. And actually all you have to do is just go around this rock terminal here. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Just take this jammer and leave it there. Don't worry about it. Now here's another one puzzle with the generator in the tree, and the connector is right over here, over this bridge. There's also a terminal over there, but it's not necessary. Although it's gonna be important at the later level. But for now, we can just ignore them. Unless you want some hints, that is. But they're not that helpful. Now as you see here, no matter where you go, it's not lit up on the left side. So you need to kind of like move around a bit, like so. Because of the columns, as you see here, they can block it. So if you put it around here, we can progress, like so. Now, this one looks like a bit clustered and confusing, because you also need these two, and also there's an auto turret preventing us from going there. Now normally your first instinct would be to take this jammer, but it's not gonna work like that. We needed to disable the turret, and all the connectors are right here. Even the text is specified. Okay, so we start with the red one. Choose this one, and we can just put it here. And on to grab the next one. Like that. And make sure they don't get tangled, otherwise it won't work. But the problem is with this one is that it doesn't light up, and even if it does, it's gonna be problematic because it's gonna get tangled with the laser one over here. So you have to jump up a bit, make use of your surroundings. Okay, so as I said, we need to jam this because it's gonna shoot us. So we take this jammer first. Now this is our grand finale. Jam it and take the sigil. It says the gate's open. The gate opens. The gate was over here. We can progress now. This means that you need to experiment in this one because it can get easily tangled, but you have plenty of connectors to work with. So the first red one goes in here, like that. But now we need to look for a second one, and here we are. Here we are. Okay, so the blue one should go to the right a bit. So make sure you have like a visible gap and make sure it doesn't hit the trees. Oh, it gets tangled. If we go back, perhaps here, that seems fine. But what we didn't see is the third one, and third one is located right over here. But perhaps we're too far away. Maybe here, because we need it. We need it to connect it to blue one. And as you see here, it lights up. It hits that. Okay. So make sure that it lights up all of them. You need to be precise. Not exactly at the same spots where I intended it to be, but just experiment. That's the whole purpose of it. Now we're headed towards the gate that is locked by sigils, and this one is quite easy to solve. With just 3 sigils, it's nothing too complicated. It's like that. As you see here, simple as that. And here's our teleport and a terminal. We don't want the terminal yet, but after this one, we'll need them. And here's the grand finale. What this means is that you'll have to use another copy of yourself to solve this one. As you see here, the first hint is that there's a laser pointed right here. It makes sure that the player knows where it's located because the foliage is quite dense. You might get lost easily. So I'm gonna select the red one and just go as close as possible to the plasma doors and the receivers right there. I recommend to put it somewhere high so it doesn't get tangled. But there's also 3 pressure plates and another receiver, so how are you gonna do that? Well, the first thing is to grab the cube that's on the left here. Well, it's now in front of me, but before it was on my left side. And I recommend putting it here. And then there's nothing else to collect, so besides just walking around, here's the machine to copy yourself. And what we need first is to pick this up, choose this one, and blue one. Make sure it doesn't get in the cube's way. I'm gonna create a pause point, maybe, if I do the right thing. Put it here, step on this one, create pause point. And we can just quickly rush back. See if it works, because I'm also not sure, because I have poor memory of these things. see here, we have 2 lasers down, but we're still not done yet. Keep going. And there you have it. All of them are connected. Thank you. This means, oh god, the sun. This means that it's a bit tricky because it's so big that the lasers can get tangled, and also you'll have to make use fully of your surroundings. So let's start with the red one. As you see here, it's quite huge area. And there's the angel and other connectors, but first we need to get the red one done, and the red one's on the right. So we're gonna make use of those icons. Oh wait, there's another one. Yeah, like that. Wow, this one's a bit tricky, I remember. And now we need blue. Blue. And the other blue one is right over there. As you see here, it gets tangled, so as I said, make use of your surroundings. It should be. Try this. No? Doesn't like that. And if it doesn't work, you can also move the red one somewhere else. Maybe it will untangle. We need to untangle it, that's the problem. There we go. See, I made use of my surroundings by doing this unrealistic behavior, and it works. That's how it's supposed to be done. Now, there's gonna be now terminals, which are important this time. That is all. Read the terminals. But first, we're gonna grab this sigil, and here's the first terminal we need to use. And a holy session that must be respected and lasts 20 hours. What is it? The answer is bones. This means that's just me being a big fanboy for the Bones artist who keeps saying sesh during the sentences and starts blasting insane lyrics. That's the whole idea, nothing much. Here's the sigil. And that means there's a terminal. Can the angels cry beyond the gates? Take this one. And yep, are tears allowed if they see your face? Can the angels cry beyond the gates? Are tears allowed if they see your face? That's one of the Scrim's lyrics, from also known as Suicide Boys. We can exit this and be done with it. We see another sigil. So easy, nothing too hard except for that part where you had to make use of your surroundings. Like so, pick this up. Wait, oopsie daisy, I kinda left this sigil at the wrong place, didn't I? Okay, my bad. But it accounts for all the sigils we collected, so it should be almost like this. Yep. Like that. And that's pretty much it. Here's the star. And that's the end of the level. That's how you beat it. And yeah, I'll have to solve this issue, so I can just go to my creations, choose bones, and let me just quickly solve this. You'll even see all of this in action. So the FPS drops. Yeah, we don't want this one to be here. And that's pretty much it. Save, and thank you for watching. I hope it helped you on your journey, and I'll see you next time.